What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the TYSK Report. Let's dive into some tech news. Hyundai reveals its newest hydrogen-powered vehicle, the Initium. Hydrogen-powered vehicles haven't really caught on as an alternative means of eco-friendly transportation. Hyundai, however, hopes to fix that with a bigger investment in the technology in its newest hydrogen-powered concept SUV called the Initium. Hyundai announced its plans to start production on the hydrogen SUV in the first half of next year. The Initium can run approximately 404 miles on a single refueling and can also run an electric power as a backup that can be recharged from a household electricity supply. The vehicle will also make its public debut at the LA Auto Show and the Auto Guangzhou in China next month. It's not yet confirmed where the cars will be available when they go on sale, so a US launch isn't guaranteed. Hydrogen may be an efficient alternative to gasoline, but it still has a ways to go to be competitive with electric vehicles. There are only 59 hydrogen charging stations in the US, with most of them in California, according to the US Department of Energy. There are only a handful of car makers who still offer a hydrogen power option, including Hyundai and Toyota. Honda used to offer a hydrogen car with the Clarity, but it ended production in 2021. So it looks like Hyundai is continuing that dream of having these hydrogen-powered cars driving on a road near you. We should see what happens next with this. One thing they're going to have to overcome is that infrastructure play, because even right now, the EV infrastructure is still being built out, and it's not completely as convenient as gasoline and petrol stations. So even they are working on what they're doing. So hydrogen definitely has a long way to go, but it's something that could be on the horizon. So if anything else comes up when it comes to Hyundai and their hydrogen powered car, I'll make sure to keep you updated. Let's move on to the next article. Chevy's BrightDrop electric vans will be in Walmart's fleet by the end of the year. GM moved its electric van company BrightDrop over to Chevy in August to save some money, and today the newly branded version of the vehicle is confirmed for one of the BrightDrop's earliest customers, Walmart. After piloting BrightDrop 400 vehicles for customer deliveries, Walmart is officially adding them to its fleet. The company says its in-home delivery program is expanding to reach 62 million households nationwide and will roll out Chevy BrightDrops in Austin, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, Northwest Arkansas, Orlando, and the San Francisco area Bay by the end of the year. BrightDrop's vans run on GM's battery platform, formerly known as Ultium, and the larger version can drive an impressive 258.85 miles on a single charge. So even in the news where we hear about these auto legacy companies being phased out, the Fords, the GMs, and the Chevys, they still find themselves being implemented into the electric vehicle space. And with Chevy and this BrightDrop, they have Walmart there as a client, being able to help them expand. So this is great for them. But then also for those people who love shopping at Walmart online, they're going to be able to get their products a little quicker with more of these fleet being out. So we could soon see one of these BrightDrop vehicles on a road near us or near you. Let's move on to the next article. Samsung could launch its extended reality wearable device next year. It sounds like Samsung is hoping to launch its extended reality wearable device sometime next year. The company has revealed its outlook for 2025 in its new earnings report, wherein it said that it's looking to improve connectivity among products, including upcoming XR devices, to further elevate user experiences in the Galaxy ecosystem. Samsung first revealed that it was working on a wearable device with augmented, mixed, and virtual reality capabilities at the Galaxy S23 Unpacked event last year. It will run a Google-designed version of Android specifically made for wearable displays and will be powered by a Qualcomm chip. So even if this Samsung device won't be available next year, it's showing that more companies are starting to move into this VR, AR, and XR space. So in 2025, I do believe that we're going to hear a lot more news when it comes to this. Maybe it would be a good time to get a MetaQuest 3 or a MetaQuest 3S or something like that, because we could start to see more products being pushed out in the upcoming year. I'll be here keeping you updated on this information, so you don't have to go anywhere else to find it. Let's move on to the next article. Air taxi company China University team for operator training. Chinese flying taxi company Yihang Holdings has partnered with the Civil Aviation Flight University of China, CAFUC, to collaborate to develop and train operator and maintenance staff for a large civil unmanned aerial vehicles UAVs. The university, created by the Civil Aviation Administration in China, the CAAC, and the government of Xinjiang province, develops pilot licensing frameworks and specializes in regulations and standards for UAV operators. Yihang has obtained 3 airworthiness certificates from the CAAC for its EH216S pilotless passenger carrying eVTOL vehicle. The CAAC and the CAFUC plan to advance talent cultivation, licensee training, standard formulation, and innovative outcome transformation to cultivate high-level talents with professional skills and innovative spirit in the field of large UAVs. So if you are someone who's out there who is interested in flying vehicles or who has some type of experience flying planes, this could be something that you could look forward to, because you could find yourself being a pilot of an air taxi or being able to be the main person that's over a fleet of UAVs. Let's move on to the next article. OpenAI's search engine is now live in ChatGPT. ChatGPT is officially an AI-powered web search engine. The company is enabling real-time information and conversations for paid subscribers, with free enterprise and education users gaining access in the coming weeks. Rather than launching a separate product, web search will be integrated into ChatGPT's existing interface. The feature determines when to tap into web results based on queries, though users can also manually trigger web searches. ChatGPT's web search integration finally closes a key competitive gap with rivals like Microsoft Copilot and Google Gemini, which have long offered real-time internet access in their AI conversations. The new search functionality will be available across all ChatGPT platforms, iOS, Android, and desktop apps for macOS and Windows. So because of this news, I do believe that in maybe 2 to 3 years, we could find that OpenAI search engine is going to be a lot more utilized than Google. We're starting to see more people just have ChatGPT and put questions in there. So now with the real-time information, if they're able to just search for things, they can easily do that through ChatGPT. Also, I have found that on some occasions when I do use it, that it is a lot more accurate than with Google search, but Google has gotten a lot better. So I wonder who's going to be coming out on top, because even with Microsoft Copilot, that could get better in the future. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I'll make sure to keep you updated with any news that arises. Let's move on to the next article. SpaceX wants to test refueling starships in space early next year. SpaceX will attempt to transfer propellant from one orbiting starship to another as early as next March, a technical milestone that will pave the way for an uncrewed landing demonstration of a starship on the moon, a NASA official said this week. SpaceX made history during the most recent test on October 13th when it caught the Super Heavy rocket booster mid-air using chopsticks attached to the launch tower for the first time. Under SpaceX contract, they must meet mandatory design reviews, but SpaceX can also propose additional milestones for payment. One requirement that SpaceX requested is the ship-to-ship propellant transfer demonstration. Those tests are set to begin around March 2025, with testing concluding in the summer. So it looks like SpaceX is looking to capitalize off that moment that they had last month back in October. And with this new endeavor that they plan to embark on, SpaceX is that company that I believe can get it done. So we'll see what happens next with this. I'll make sure to keep you updated. Let's move on to the next article. Cross-posting social app OpenVibe now supports Threads too. OpenVibe initially made it possible to stay connected with friends and followers across Mastodon, Nostr, and Blue Sky by allowing you to view posts in a combined timeline and cross-post to different networks at once. Similar to how an app called Trillion once aggregated instant messaging networks like AIM, ICQ, Yahoo, Google Talk, and others in one place for easy chatting in the early 2000s, OpenVibe does the same for the many social networks that want to become the new place to tweet. This app is free to download on iOS and Android, but later plans to experiment with a desktop version. To generate revenue, the app will later introduce a subscription plan, but that has yet to arrive. So if you are someone who has found themselves utilizing a lot of apps, but you have found it frustrating to do so when it comes to posting or wanting to keep yourself up to date with what's going on in each app, you can now utilize this one where you'll be able to see everything all on one timeline. So that was a tech news update for you today. I hope you got a lot of information out of it. Continuing to stay informed is going to be important as we move into the new year, where things are going to heat up and a lot of technology news is going to be coming out. So in order to do that, like the video, subscribe, and make sure you tell a friend that these are the things they should know happening in the world of technology.